Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we have some repairs to do. We're definitely going to have to take this month tick, so let's go ahead and get on it. We're going to move forward here, and we've got some repairs to work on. We took a lot of damage to our armor, but I don't believe we took anything major internally. Let's go ahead and tick forward, and we'll double check that once our Mauler and our Salamander are done here. Of course, that's going to take a little bit. The others all finish up sooner. But there we go. All work orders are now complete. We'll hop into the mech bay, make sure that all is good to go, and it indeed is. So that is fantastic. Now we'll hop into the barracks, and we'll do any training that we might need here. Let's see. Most of these are already maxed out. So, or not really most of them, but a lot of them are starting to get maxed out. So that's wonderful. Rain is not quite there yet, and actually there's not anything to be done. So we're going to hop directly into the command center. And let's deploy. We'd like to go for something kind of like this one, actually. 2.4 million for a battle. This is an attack and defend. I don't have time for an attack and defend today. Remember, in RogueTech, you can't save in the middle of a mission, so if I do a long mission like that, it has to be all in one sitting. And, yeah, that's kind of not in the cards for today, unfortunately. I would like to run that again. That would be a nice thing to try again on this difficulty level, but not right now. This battle is a decent max pay. And it's actually the same salvage as this one here. So I think we'll go ahead and run this battle, and we'll see how that goes. This is a free priority salvage here. So let's just go ahead and accept that. Wonderful. And let's see what is going on here. This should all be completely fine. Wait, I want to double check that. Just the Awesome and Mauler? Yeah, that's what's expected. Yeah, Darius, you're an idiot. He thinks that it requires more power than this. It does not require more power than this. We are fine at 5.5 skull. We are absolutely fine at 5.5 skull. Sometimes we take some damage. Sometimes we just absolutely wreck them. But it kind of depends what we're up against. We'll see. This is a battle in the Highlands. And how many lances are we expecting? Well, we know there's going to be the main lance. There's probably going to be a reinforcement lance. There could be a third lance as well. That one's a bit more iffy, and we may or may not have friends. So we'll see. Here's the question, though. Do the friends actually make it go faster? In terms of rounds, maybe. But in terms of actual playtime, probably not. I think that the friends actually slow it down in that situation. But they do speed it up a little bit in terms of rounds, for sure. Sometimes they get a lucky kill, sometimes they just do some decent armor strip, and sometimes they're just distractions, you know? It's not awful, necessarily. But we need to blunt the advance of the invading force and punish any supporting local forces. A high-tonnage local government lance will shortly make planetfall at the behest of a group of petty nobles and commercial interests. Intel suggests this is the vanguard for a larger force of conventional tanks and infantry, and they're scouting the region for a suitable landing site. We need a competent mercenary company to intercept the mechs and stop the invasion before it gets underway. If their planet-side allies send any support, you're to wipe them out as well.
Online. All systems nominal.
Commander, this seems like a rough fight. We'll be the shield that blocks the head of the spear. If any support units do make a showing, only engage if you're in a good position after dealing with the mechs. Well, we'll see.
Command interface.
This looks immediately like an ambush. There are no allies. We could deploy up on this ridge if we wanted to. I mean, you can go down the ridge with careful maneuvers now. But this would give us good vision over here. This is the edge of the map, so they don't actually have anywhere to hide unless they hide back here, but that's what artillery is for. There's also potentially some units up over here. But I like this spot. Let's land on the high ground. And let's see what we've got. So obviously we've got immediate contact.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts inbound.
Yeah, that was expected. So they're all over here in the ravine. I love it. They're shooting at the bull shark. The bull shark's okay for now.
Light damage, Commander.
That's a blackjack. That's not very threatening, in all honesty. We see a blackjack, we see a partisan, we see a rifleman 2C. Okay. Doing more damage to the bull shark.
Damage is light.
I mean, they're going to get a lot of moves here. That's an executioner. And this guy up here is another blackjack, a marauder 2, an archer. Okay. Side arc on the Orion there, but we're braced, so it's okay.
I laugh at your puny attack.
And now we get to move. The question is, which of our mechs? That is the Orion first. The Orion is going to step over here. We see a direct LOS out on this Rifleman 2C. And that's probably going to be our best bet. We will go ahead and Warlord for now. The Gauss is probably going to miss. Actually, it hit, surprisingly. And the missile's doing some decent damage onto that Rifleman. Okay. So the Salamander is going to sprint up over here. We want it to have LOS, but not necessarily on all of the enemy mechs. So that Blackjack, 74% versus 79 on the Rifleman, and we can fire the HE. I like it. There's still a lot of armor on that Rifleman, so I'm actually thinking about firing AX rounds here. They only do 1 more damage, and we're losing like 15% hit odds. I think that we run the improved missiles here. I don't think AX is really worth it. So that's a structure exposure on that Rifleman 2C, and a head hit, and he's unsteady on top of it. I like it. Next up is going to be our Mauler. The Mauler is going to move up over here.
Aye, aye.
Odds are very good. We're going to go for the Rifleman. 64%. Yeah, we're going for the Rifleman. We'll even Warlord to boost those odds. This is pretty likely a kill, I would say. I'm not going to fire... Actually, I'm not going to fire this ER medium laser for heat purposes.
Fire.
Yeah. Rifleman straight up dead.
Target eliminated.
As expected. I'm not seeing anything too threatening over here. This is 7 units in total. We see them all. And that's great. The Executioner backs off, fires on the Salamander indirect, doesn't get much done. Okay. So that's an Atlas there.
What's up,
The Madcap Mark II is going to move in over here. It's a little bit exposed, for sure. We're going to Vigilance it. And we can fire on the Blackjack or on the Partisan. The Blackjack is by far the better hit odds, and so we will go ahead and do that. It does have cover, but that's okay. These AD missiles are still going to do some great armor strip there. Perfect.
Yep.
The Corsair is going to look to get some LOS here, and actually, this is the only LOS that we get, but it is on that Blackjack, so we'll go ahead and take that. We'll Warlord it to boost the odds a bit.
Roger.
Okay, a structure exposure on the Blackjack. That's good, and a double heat sink taken out. I like it. So the Partisan is going to move and fire on the Corsair. It actually misses. Good to know.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, so the Awesome moves up next.
Roger that.
We'll position it here. The Atlas hasn't moved yet. Okay. 78% on the Partisan, and actually that's the best hit odds that we've got here. So we'll take those, and we'll hit the Partisan out this way. We could, in theory, kill it here, I think, but it's unlikely. Yeah, not happening. Okay. Now is going to be this guy, the Grand Summoner, I think. Yep. Shoots at the Awesome, doesn't get very much done, if I'm honest. Not very much done at all.
Damage minimal.
Okay.
So far, so good.
So the Atlas is going to move next round. The Bull Shark is going to move in over here. And we're going to fire, I think, direct fire on that Atlas. Yes. That is indeed what we're going to do. We're even going to Warlord it. Fire direct fire on... Actually... The Marauder 2 here is more centrally located. Do it.
Roger that.
Oh, there's battle armor out in there. Okay, good to know. So now the Atlas moves. Let's see what it does. Oh, that positioning is great for us. Okay. It does some damage to the Bull Shark. The Bull Shark's armor can handle that for now.
Losing armor.
And now
Heavy
our
damage.
Boar's Head is going to move up over here. And we want to fire on the Marauder 2 here. It's centrally located. We're going to have to fire indirect, but that will be fine. This could easily kill that battle armor. It did not like that long tom that hit it.
Enough.
Awkward landing on the Arrow 4 there, but overall, not bad splash damage. The Marauder moves up. Doesn't really do anything of note. Okay, next round. Phase 19 is the Blackjack. It moves up. Shoots at the Bull Shark, misses everything. I like it. Okay, phase 17. The Archer. Shoots at the Orion. Sounds good. Look at how clustered up they are over here.
Standing by.
That's insane to me. We're going to move up the Madcat Mark II. It is still fresh, and we're going to not brace it here. We'll fire on... The hit odds are actually on the Partisan, so we'll go for that.
Firing.
Not hugely happy about going for the Partisan, but... Okay, we got the kill, so we'll call that good.
Target eliminated.
So we've eliminated half of that lance, and then there's this lance here.
I await your command.
So the Orion is going to step in here. We're going to look to take out the Blackjack here, I think. Oh yeah, definitely. Look at these hit odds. And that's a dead Blackjack. That was actually a Gauss rifle to the face. The odds on that are pretty low. He was dead either way, though.
Aye, aye.
So the Awesome is going to close in over here. And we're going to fire on the Atlas here. I'd like to strip off some armor.
Firing on target.
Okay. I mean, Atlases have a lot of armor. There's no doubt about it. Phase 14, they're shooting at our Atlas. This is fine. We do not care about that, although that head hit is
I
unfortunate.
just realized I'm sitting on the fusion reactor.
Okay, next up is going to be our Mauler. The Mauler is going to close in over here. The Mauler's fresh, and that's fine. We could fire on the Atlas, or we could fire on the Grand Summoner. In fact, the hit odds are identical. The Grand Summoner has less armor. We're more likely to be able to take out the Grand Summoner here, so let's go ahead and do that. We missed one of the heavy Gausses, but we hit one, which did do a lot of armor damage there, so that's wonderful. Our Corsair is going to close in, and we're going to continue to fire on that Grand Summoner. That's a lot more armor removed from that mech. In fact, that's a structure exposure. Fantastic. Next up, the Salamander moves up, and we're going to crit fish.
Affirmative, Commander.
Very good odds of crits here.
10-4.
We got an engine crit there. Ammo explosion, multiple engine crits, in fact. Sadly, we didn't destroy the engine, but that's okay. The Bull Shark is going to step up over here. We only have indirect fire, but that's okay. We're going to fire on the Archer here. And we're going to fire the Long Tom, obviously.
Here it comes.
Kaboom! That is so much damage. That is so much damage into that squad. The Atlas moves out a little bit. Shoots at the Mauler. It's got an AC-20. Good to know. That's a fairly standard weapon on an Atlas, so that's fine.
No, 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 no.
Okay, phase 12 is the Executioner. Firing indirect on our Boar's Head. Is probably going to ace pilot here. And let's see where it goes. Oh, okay. Centrally located there.
Right
So our
here.
Boar's Head is going to move, like, into cover over here.
Roger that.
And we can fire direct fire on this Executioner. I love it. We're going to do exactly that. We're going to Warlord. This should definitely kill the battle armor.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Yep, there goes the battle armor.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Go,
Not
go,
a knockdown on the Executioner there, sad, but the Marauder 2 moves up, does not fire. We've stripped a lot of armor from these guys with our artillery.
Yes, Commander.
The Mauler moves next, and it's going to close in, or is it? It should go for the Grand Summoner here, in all honesty. So we'll go for that.
Firing on target.
Not the greatest shooting with the Gauss, but that is a knockdown. And another engine crit. I would have liked to see him dead, but sadly, that's not a thing. Let's see. The Madcat Mark II, I want to actually position out over here. Reason being, I would like for the Madcat Mark II to finish off that Grand Summoner. This should be a guaranteed kill.
Firm.
So many engine crits, but there we go. Both legs destroyed was what ended up killing him. Ridiculous. So many engine crits. But we didn't destroy the engine. That's probably not necessarily an awful thing. The Salamander is just going to step forward over here and sink heat for right now.
Acknowledge, Commander.
Okay. Next up is going to be the Bull Shark, which will dip into cover here. And we're going to fire direct fire on the Marauder 2 here.
Firing all weapons.
It says battle armor damage there, but I'm pretty sure that the battle armor is actually dead. That's 2 knockdowns. Excellent. Next up is our Awesome, which will close in over here. And we could fire on the Executioner or on the Archer. I think the Archer is the more likely kill, so we'll go for that. Excellent. There goes the Archer. 3 units remain. The Orion is going to close in, and we'll position here. We can go for the Executioner, and that is the most likely, so we will go for that. We'll just try to get this torso off of there. I don't think that that thing's running an XL engine, but we'll see. Mostly armor hits there, but there were a few internal hits. That's fine. The Corsair is really wanting to move forward over here, and we'll do exactly that. We'll fire on that Executioner again. I'd like to see the kill here. Let's just go CT. A lot of crits there. And an ejection. Okay. I was expecting him to die there, and he did, via ejection. The Atlas fires indirect on the Awesome, interestingly. Okay.
Yes,
And now there's
Commander.
not really an amazing artillery target anymore. We're just going to move up to here.
Moving to.
And we're going to fire on the Marauder.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
We're hoping for a knockdown here. We keep hitting the battle armor, even though it's gone. It's very strange.
Commander.
Okay. Well, the Marauder will move forward. I was hoping to knock it down, but we didn't manage that. Instead, it'll shoot at our mechs a little bit and not do very much damage.
Oh boy.
That's completely fine.
Heavy hit there.
I can't take much more of this.
Okay, next up, the Madcat Mark II wants to get somewhere with an LOS. It will not succeed.
Let's
So we'll sink some heat.
can do.
Orders.
The Mauler also wants to get somewhere with an LOS, and it will succeed. We'll position here, and we will go ahead and Warlord. Firing on this Atlas. We're not going to fire this medium laser due to heat, but otherwise, let's see what we get. I mean, that was a lot of armor damage, even with 1 heavy Gauss missing, and the Atlas is now unsteady.
Skipper.
The Salamander can move up. I would love to see a direct fire LOS on that Atlas. It's not going to happen, so we're going to have to fire on the Marauder instead. I'm not super happy about it, but this is probably a kill on the Marauder.
I got you.
And there it goes.
I need a new target.
Okay. So next up, our Orion. Again, I'd like to see an LOS on that Atlas. It's kind
way.
of standing in the cliff's shadow right now. But we can definitely fire our LRMs in standard mode, and we can Warlord to boost the clustering. And on this arc, we know that we already broke through the armor on this arm, but the Atlas has a lot of armor remaining. Okay, that is a knockdown. He hasn't moved this round, so he will get right back up, but that's okay.
Standing by.
The Awesome is looking for an LOS, but I don't think we find one. No, we don't.
Copy that.
But we are going to go ahead and Warlord and continue to drop LRMs on the CT of the
Engaging
Atlas.
target.
We'd like to punch through that armor.
Standing by.
The Bull Shark is going to step back a little bit here,
Rolling.
and we will drop a Long Tom on the Atlas as well.
Engaging target.
Kaboom. That's a lot of armor removed. And the Corsair. The Corsair does not find LOS, and we're just going to sink heat. It can't really move either, so that's okay. We'll move back a little bit with the Boar's Head here, and are we in range to fire our artillery? Yes, we are. This Atlas has basically no armor on its torso left, so let's go.
Firing out strike.
A lot of crits there, but nothing
Critical hit,
really
Commander.
too major. But he did eject, so that's good. We're out of here.
Successful.
Nice and quick. That's what we like to see. And we didn't take that much damage either. Some of our mechs took a couple of reasonably big hits, like that AC-20 hit, but all things considered, that wasn't too bad. We were pretty much in and out there. I like it. So we will proceed here. We got almost 2 million C-bills for that. Yeah, you can see the Bull Shark took some damage in that leg. The Boar's Head almost broke through the cockpit's armor. Yeah, yikes. But we'll proceed here, and what do we want from salvage is the question. That is a good question. Not really too interested in Atlas parts. What's the hard points on an Executioner? Interesting. Maybe we go for an Executioner part? An HA-30 Gauss rifle, huh? That's pretty good, actually. We're going to take the HA-30. We got an LRM-10 as well, and we got a Hyper Gauss ammo. That's not bad. We could definitely use some of that. An Assault Jump Jet that we don't need, and a basic cockpit that we don't need. Okay, sounds good. So we'll go ahead and continue here, assuming RogueTech isn't dying? Okay, I think we're good. RogueTech was thinking about dying for a bit there, but we seem to be fine. So that is fantastic. As far as how much damage we took, it really wasn't that much. There were a few locations that we lost a good amount of armor on, nothing that breached our armor, and overall, nothing even doing a lot of damage on multiple locations on one of our mechs. So I'm expecting this to be maybe around 120,000 C-bills, but I'm actually revising that estimate upward to like 180,000 C-bills. Well, that feels a little high, actually. Maybe that should be our range, since we're about to see. What do you got for us, gang? 100,000. Okay. Sounds good. I like it when it gets below what I think it's going to be. So that's fantastic. Of course, it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll get these repairs done and head right on back out. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.